Gardening Sisters, and in today's video I am just pretty much going to be bringing you guys along with everything that I'm going to be doing today. So that will consist of me transplanting some onion, because at this point they aren't as thick as I would like them to be, but I did see Yellow Door Urban Homestead and she transplanted her onions kind of at the stage that mines are in. They were doing well under the grow lights, but now I don't know if it is due to the watering or nutrients, but they need to be transplanted because I don't want to hold them too long and they kind of conk out on me. I probably will go through here and still put seeds in the bed as well, but so that's one of the things we're going to be doing today. I'm thinking about going ahead and potting up my zinnias that have sprouted, and then I'll also be up potting a lot of stuff. So that's pretty much what we're going to do today. And now I'm just going to flip you guys around and give you an update on these raised beds. So here's an update on the raised bed that you guys started with me. I will take my covering off of this in a few minutes, but right now I'm just going to show them to you like this. I have had a ant problem in this bed, which some other fellow YouTubers that I have seen have also had this issue. So I'm gonna walk you guys through what I have done, and then I still have to look and check and see if they're there, because I was gonna come out here and try a different method if they are. But you guys can see me keeping this bug netting on here has actually allowed my brassica bed to do really well. The broccoli, the kohlrabi, I planted some turnip bottoms, and you guys see I put those green onion around them, and also my cabbage. They are all doing pretty well. So I'm just gonna leave this like this here. This was the original onion bed. However, my mom asked us to plant her a bed of mustards, and you can see that they are starting to come up through the soil, and I planted quite a bit of them out here. So if I have to thin, I will, but for now, just leaving it like this. If you're wondering what's the white stuff in my bed, that is diatomaceous earth. This bed does not have an ant problem, and I don't want to say yet because I don't want to claim it, but then I don't want to assume that they won't show up. But to prevent them, I went ahead and applied that, because you can use these for certain ants. So far so good. Now we ended up getting a new bed, because this is the remember, this was the original onion bed, but because I had this kind of makeshift hoop house on here, I wanted to make sure that once her greens started to grow like these in this bed, that they would be protected from the biting that the pests come and do. So if I can keep down on having to spray anything, then I will. And so this is our new onion bed, and this is the one we're going to be planting in. So a little bit different with this bed opposed to the first two that I showed you when I made my own soil. This only consists of peat, that big bag of peat that I showed you guys, 2 things of cow composted manure, and 1 bag of topsoil. No store I went to had perlite or vermiculite. So I've seen in a lot of other videos that onions aren't too picky. As long as I keep them fed with their fertilizer, they should be good. I am going to go and knock out some of these chunks that y'all see here, and I'm about to show y'all on camera what I'm going to be putting in this bed for nutrients to begin with. So let's just go ahead and get started on everything. I'm going to add the bone meal that Brittany showed you all how we make, and yes, this one is chunky. If you want a more a less chunkier and a more powdery consistency, you can blend this more, but we are not super picky as long as it works. Now, I guess the chunkiness would be a problem if you were starting something out by seed and you added bone meal for whatever reason. Then you would want this to be less chunky. I'm going to mix this in before applying more. Now, because onion do like slightly acidic soil, I'm gonna go in with this ammonium sulfate. You can see that it is very high in nitrogen, which is exactly what I want starting off. So this is what I'm going to be using to kind of give this bed a jolt, since today all I'll be doing is watering in, and I won't really be adding any fish emulsion or anything like that. And there is one more thing I think that I am going to actually add to this bed before I get started with planting out the onion. I'm also gonna go ahead and go in with my premium kelp meal. I'm just gonna add some of this. Okay, so here are my onion, and in my opinion, they are now starting to look kind of sad compared to what they were looking like. These two that I just showed you are all of my yellow Granix bulbing onion. So I'm going to try to keep all of those on the same side, and I'm going to pretty much follow what Yellow Door Urban Homestead did. She pretty much buried this as far as the root. So as long as the roots were covered, that was the only part that she was worried about. She said not to plant these too deep, which I have heard. So that is what I am planning on doing. Okay, so I've already started doing these just so I could go ahead and get some of this done. But I do want to show you the roots on the onion, and this is about where I'm stopping with the soil, this area here. So I'm not covering up too much of the actual stem because these are bulbing onion. I want to make sure I'm not burying them too deep. So I just basically take it, hold it to about right here in the air, and then I essentially just close the hole. And that's really all I'm doing. I do have my tags out here because I still want to have a general idea of where I planted each variety. So that is pretty much it. That's all I'm doing. I'm going to go ahead and finish these off camera because this is pretty tedious, and then I will be back. Okay, y'all, so this is what the onion bed looks like now. We are about to go in and water this. And I did not add any seeds because I want to see how these are going to do. I have them spaced out so that way hopefully I won't have to go back in and thin anything, because all of these are bulbing onion except for on this side I have a few leaks. So fingers crossed, but if not, we will come out here indirect sow. Okay, so I wanted to show y'all, this is what I have my solution in. I mixed in some tea tree and some of the Dr. Bronner's pure unscented soap, and I did that to 2 gallons because I wanted to really go in and dilute that out. This is the bed. You can see here, this is the area I've been trying to treat with different things. I can still see ants kind of crawling throughout my bed, so I'm about to do this entire bed with this essentially, and then go in with the water hose. Well, actually, I may, before doing the water hose, I may put the solution here first, but I think I need to blast this away as well, so I may just do that and then pour some of the solution there. And it is supposed to rain, so hopefully this doesn't get washed away too bad, but I've got to go in and get this out because I can't handle this anymore. One, because I don't want to deal with getting bitten by anything, and two, if you don't know, ants are trouble because they bring aphids, and we don't want that. So the first thing I tried was the diatomaceous earth that I told y'all about, and I hear that that takes quite a few applications. So what I did was I did that a couple of times, and when I didn't get any results, yesterday I came out here, I read online where it is okay to apply boiling water to them. So I just made sure I did it kind of far away enough from the roots of my plants, but this is the area that was treated with the hot water, and they're doing pretty darn good. So I'm just about to set y'all up because it's kind of hard for me to balance this, and we're gonna go ahead and finish applying this solution. And I also wanted to mention, you don't want ants here either because they create these little burrows, and essentially they decrease your nutrient uptake on your vegetables because those air pockets decrease airflow, and you just don't want this. So these are bad news. I'm gonna do my best to get rid of them the natural way, because if I go in with anything not natural, I'm gonna be too scared to eat my vegetables. So the boiling water out of everything seemed to work the best, but I'm going to take extra precaution and just go in with this diluted mint solution, and you can smell the mint in here, so I can already kind of see them kind of scattering now, because ants do not like mint smell. So I'm trying to get my mint growing. So that way I can, well, I won't plant that in the bed because mint takes over, but maybe throw some mint leaves. That may do the job. So that's it for that bed. Let me bring y'all closer so you can look at all of the nice healthy plants. Got our broccolis, our kohlrabi, our cabbage. Everything looks really nice in this bed. So I'm actually about to go ahead and cover this back up and finish putting my solution on my other beds. Before we leave this bed, I do want to say one more thing about the ants. You can also put coffee ground on ants. Brittany did that last year, but she did say it only worked for so long, and I think that that is something that you have to do in multiple applications. So the boiling water seemed to have done it, because when I came out here, ants were not scurrying around, so I think they're gone. But I just wanted to put the mint out here, or the mint solution, just in case. Okay, now we are going to pot up our zinnias. I have the Scabiosa zinnia. It is a mix from, I believe, Eden Brothers. I have a cupcake, and then I have a profusion and a raspberry. So this is the soil that I used from Stay Green, And I actually really like this one, which for my flowers, I don't care all that much about the sticks and all of that, even when starting those from seed, because my flowers typically do pretty well in whatever soil I throw them in. They are not as picky as our vegetables. So I'm just gonna go ahead and transplant in our zinnias, and these are the cupcake ones. And I think I need to get a spade, or maybe I can actually probably dig a hole. I'm gonna do 2. Usually when I do these in pots, I do about 2 plants per pot to make sure that it's full. Now zinnias do get quite large, and currently I have not decided whether or not I want to pinch these to make them grow bushier opposed to wide or tall rather. So we will figure that out later, but for now, just gonna slide that on in, put our label back here, and then I'm going to just add the second one. And I had already up potted these from the original pot, so this is the second time they're being up potted, but you can see they're starting to get their second leaf. And in my experience, sometimes these do okay transplanting and sometimes they don't, but I find that on the days that I do it when it's really hot outside, those are the days that it typically doesn't work. So typically I like to transplant later in the evening. However, today we have a nice overcast and it is pretty cool outside, so that's why I went ahead and transplanted these in pots. And as always, if they don't transplant, starting these from seeds are really not a big deal, which is why I don't start my zinnias too early, because these, every time I've planted a zinnia, within 28 to 30 days I've had a bloom, and that's from seed. So this is fine. The soil is pretty moist, so I may hit it with a little bit of water, but that is pretty much all I'm going to be doing with my zinnias. And I am going to have to direct sow another seed, because for now I'm going to plant this one in the middle, maybe, or maybe I'll plant them kind of in the middle but kind of diagonal, so this one will look weird for a while until the second one starts to come up. Typically want to give them enough space so that way the one that's already going, it won't cause the second one to not be able to get enough light. So I'm actually going to sit this one behind it. And I should not have dug that hole like that, the second one hole, because we do not sow zinnia seeds that deep. So I think just to be safe, I'm going to do two more in here, and I may even throw one more in my cupcake one. All right, so now we have our scabiosa mix that I'm just going to sit my 2 seeds down in here and just kind of lightly cover them. And it's really just as simple as that. All right, so my last transplants are my Profusion cherry zinnia and my raspberry ripple. And these two, they're not like exactly the same, but they do look similar to me. So I don't know, I kind of want to mix these. And last year I did plant 3 zinnias per pot, and like I said, this is a very vigorous, you know what, I want to put my my raspberry ripple one in the middle, so I'm trying to figure out how I want to do this. But I have planted 3 to a pot before and I didn't have an issue, so I'm going to do that again this year and see how it goes. Get this one transplanted over, which is our raspberry ripple, and I will be putting a label there just so I can remember that I did not put all of the same ones in the pot. All right, and that will be it for our zinnias. Okay, so here is an update of our grow table. As you can see, there is a lot of stuff going on here. So these are my watermelon. I have tomatoes and peppers in here. I have some hollyhocks, more peppers and tomato. I've got some broccoli that I need to get done. Got okra here that I'm getting ready to up pot. Those nasturtiums are getting kind of big. There's more nasturtiums that I started off that need to be up potted. Here's 2 more watermelon that we started. This is the update on the bell pepper that we transplanted from the the hydroponic system, so you guys can see it's doing really well. There's my borage. Those are our marigolds. I believe those are my straw flower back there. Some of these flowers I may still go in direct sow just because I feel like I have better results when I direct sow a lot of my flowers. Here are rutabaga, and the rest of these are the turnip bottoms. So you can see they are starting to fill in the grow bags nicely. And then here are our radishes, which some have begun to bulb. The green onions finally starting to pop up. I started some beets with you all, I believe, and this is what they're looking like. I've already thinned them out. Like I said, some of my radishes are starting to bulb. And this variety here just didn't do well. It didn't come up well. More radishes starting to bulb. We had a hailstorm that knocked some of this stuff loose, so I don't know if these are the purple prints. I don't know if they're supposed to be up like that, but nonetheless. And then more tomato, and my milkweed has started to come up, so I need to try to get that up potted as well. So we're gonna up pot a few things with each other. I don't want this video to be too long. I just wanted to take y'all along today on some of the garden chores that I had. So that's pretty much what I'm gonna do, up pot a few things, and then I'll end this video. So I'm gonna go ahead and start up potting this okra, and I've just filled them slightly at the bottom with that Stay Green potting soil y'all saw me use earlier, because when I start these off, I start them off in you can see this one has a really good root system. I start these off in I started off in the cocoa core, so that doesn't have any real nutrients at all in it, and now we want these to actually start having some kind of nutrients to be able to take from the soil. So that's why I'm using that soil from earlier, and I don't do anything special. That's really all I do. So I have 11 of these because one of them didn't do well coming up, so I'm going to transplant all of these. And we grew quite a bit of this time, because usually in the past we've had like 2 plants, and that's not going to produce enough okra at one time to actually cook with. So this year we're starting pretty heavy with the okra plants, and they also take quite a while to get going too. So That's why we actually started these actually a little bit earlier than we were supposed to, just to try to get a head start on okra production. And actually, I think, let me dig this up a little bit. I'm trying to bury this a little bit deeper, bury that stem a little bit deeper. So let's get that dug in a little bit deeper. And that's better. So all of our okra is done now. I'm gonna go ahead and take these 2 watermelon and up pot them as well. So I don't want them getting too big in here. And all of my okra had really good root systems on it, so here's the watermelon. And I'll say that, in my personal opinion, using that cocoa core has been the best thing for me as far as seed starting. Now we got this nice, beautiful transplant of our watermelon, and we'll just do the same with our second one. All right, so this is actually my borage. I forgot that these needed to be transplanted as well, so we will up pot a few of these on camera, and we'll go ahead and move over to the nasturtium and marigolds. And I'm really not doing anything different here, to be honest, so I up pot everything the exact same way. And you can see these have really nice root systems, so I knew it was time to get these out. All right, so I've done 4 already. This is pretty much what they're gonna look like. Nothing too special. So I'm gonna go ahead and probably finish doing everything else off camera, because honestly, you all, there is nothing else different for me to show you. I will come back when I transplant my broccoli into the grow bag, but as far as up potting, this is pretty much all I do. All right, so here is my 7-gallon grow bag that I'm going to be putting my sweet bunch mini broccolis in. I'm gonna see if I can get away with planting 2 in here, since they are a mini broccoli. This is just a grow bag that I've already had that had some soil in it, so I'm just basically repurposing it. But I am about to go in with some kelp meal in my Job's organic balanced fertilizer to go ahead and pop some nutrients back into the soil. So and honestly, I'm just gonna hope and pray that nothing comes and nibbles down the broccoli, because these broccoli actually have made it pretty far. Some of them get eaten away before they get to the length or the height that they're at now. So that was just that kelp meal that I showed you guys previously that I had amended my onion bed with. I'm going in with more of it. just going in with it. And then I need to go get more soil and actually put more in here because these transplants are not that big. So I need to fill this up with a little bit more soil, add a little bit more nutrients, and then I will be ready to plant. Okay, now everything is added in there. So you can see that kelp meal and that Job's sprinkled on the top. Just gonna work that in really well. And then we are going to transplant 2, and they both look like this. And I'm going to try to plant this right at the base of the flower. Of the broccoli. And I'll do my second one the same way. And these were, again, plants that had already previously been up potted from those little smaller trays that I started with. So you can see that they had, you can even see here, so you can even see here that that is the original medium it started in, and then this is the rest of the soil that was added. And we're just going to tuck those in, give them a nice little watering. I'll spray some, not spray, I'll put some of my diatomaceous earth on here. I do think it's going to rain either today or tomorrow, so that may actually be a waste, but I'll come and apply some after the rain has fallen. Okay, so everything is done now. I was able to move a lot of stuff off of this table, even though it doesn't look like it, just like little smaller pots. I did go ahead off camera and put 2 cabbage in a grow bag, and then more broccoli. And then I'll walk you over to our stand that I have. These were all of the things I had to up pot today. So there's borage, okra, milkweed, and my nasturtium. So you can see that's a lot. But nonetheless, I'm glad I was able to get it done. All right, so as you can see, it looks like it is going to rain. I do think it's supposed to rain later today, and if not today, for sure we are supposed to get rain Friday. So that's pretty much it. I just wanted to, show you guys some of the chores that I had for today, and take you along with me just to show you guys the onion bed, the potting up the zinnias, and transplanting things into bigger pots, and also putting some new stuff in a grow bag and showing you guys updates on stuff that you have previously started from seed with me. So I hope that you guys did enjoy this video. If you did, please do give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and turn on your notification bell so that you will know every time we post new content. And until the next video, I will see you guys then.